Oh. Oh, you probably want a review today, huh? Alright, I guess I can give you a review. Let's see. My room's a bit of a mess right now. I'm not really prepared for this. I had an outline written somewhere, but, you know what? F it. You know, the movie I'm reviewing today didn't feel like trying, so I'm not gonna try either. Hey everybody, my name's Derek. Welcome to the Netflix Knowhow. I review stuff and watch it or stop, whatever. Today I am reviewing The Titan, starring Sam Worthington, that guy, not Rockwell, the other Sam, and Taylor Schilling. I don't really know what it is about Sam Worthington wanting to be in movies where he turns into a big blue alien dude, but here we are. So The Titan is about a soldier played by Sam Worthington who gets sent off to this military base off in the middle of nowhere so that he can be part of some kind of science experiment to try and make superhumans so they can go live on one of Saturn's moons, Titan. And the reason they're doing this is because the Earth is dying, so they can't live on it anymore. Now, if that all sounds really stupid to you, it's because it is. Also, don't get your hopes up about this being some kind of environmental save the planet movie, because that's not at all what this is. Not even close. They mentioned it at the very beginning, and then it's never touched on ever again. The whole setup is basically just an excuse to inject people with drugs and stuff and try and turn them into monsters, essentially. That's what the whole setup is supposed to be, or what it's supposed to be leading up to. The Titan has no idea what kind of movie it's trying to be. It starts off as what appears to be this sort of big, ambitious, intellectual sci-fi epic, but then it tries to turn into a shocking, gruesome, and gory body horror movie. And the problem here is that it sucks at both of them. Going into this movie, I thought it was going to dive into the ethics of human experimentation and trying to play God with genetics. And it sure seemed like it was gonna do that at the beginning, but nope, it doesn't touch on it one bit. There is science involved in the movie, but only in its purest, most surface level, and most shallow form. Basically, there's just a lot of technobabble, but none of it really means anything, and the only purpose it serves is to turn these people into monsters. Which brings me to my next point. The monsters in this movie kind of suck. Nothing bad actually even happens to the people. When you think of a gruesome, gory, shocking body horror movie, you think of things like The Fly, or something like The Thing, or even something as recent as The Human Centipede. And regardless of what you think of those movies, you have to admit the stuff that happens to those characters and that those bodies go through, pretty gruesome. In The Titan, the worst thing that appears to happen to our main character is that he apparently gets a really bad sunburn, starts to pill, and then he gets a cold, so he turns a little bit pale and sort of vampire-ish. Ooh, so shocking and gruesome. I am terrified. This could be due to the fact that they had a very low budget. It's definitely a low budget movie. They didn't have a lot of money to spend on effects, but that's not an excuse. I have seen plenty of low budget horror movies that still manage to look great. Even one of the movies I reviewed about a year ago called Harbinger Down, very, very low budget horror movie. Not a good movie, but the effects at least looked decent for the budget that they had. Here, it looks like they had an effects budget of about $30. And they spent 25 of it on all of the CGI for the moon Titan over off on Saturn, wherever the heck that is. And it doesn't make any sense because that's not really the point of the movie. I don't know why they decided to wrap this very small-minded film in such like a big-minded, at least on the surface, sci-fi idea film, because none of it makes sense and none of it is satisfying. I think they were hoping that by getting some bigger name actors in Sam Worthington and Taylor Schilling, maybe they would be able to do something with the script, but even the best actors, you gotta give them something. Look, I like Sam Worthington, I like Taylor Schilling, I think they're both fine actors, I don't have anything against them, but there's just nothing for them to work here. The characters are so bland and boring, and we know basically nothing about them. We learn nothing about them. Everything that we are told is just sort of shown to us right at the beginning, and it's all very surface level trivial stuff. The soldier, played by Sam Worthington, he got trapped in a desert one time, or he got lost in a desert, and he managed to survive for like a week with, you know, out food or water or anything like that. And that's all we know about him. We know that he survived in the desert one time, and that's why he got picked for this experiment, I guess. I'll come back to that in a second. Taylor Schilling's character, who plays his wife, she's a nurse or doctor or something, I don't know, pharmacist? I don't know, she does something with medicine because we're shown her little placard at the beginning. And again, that's all we know. We don't know anything else about them. We never learn anything about them. How am I supposed to care about what these characters are going through if I don't even know anything? So I mentioned that Sam Worthington, his character, was chosen for this experiment because he survived in the desert for like a week. Oh boy, I know, qualifications. And so apparently this movie, the way that they justify all of these characters and why they were chosen to be part of this experiment is because they have demonstrated an ability to be tough or to be resilient. They all have some sort of displayed toughness about them that makes them good for the experiment. Because that's how science works. I swear to God, the main scientist guy is like the dumbest guy on the planet. He's so stupid. They're supposed to be experimenting on them with genetics and modifying their genetics, but nothing is really explained. They're just doing stuff. And there's a twist about halfway through the movie that's supposed to make you go, oh, that's really messed up. How could he be doing that? Except that it really just seems like exactly what he was doing anyway, because it was pretty vague to begin with. There's just nothing interesting or exciting or worth investing your time into this movie. And then we get to the ending. How do I explain this stupid ending without giving it away? Well, okay, so there's this little game that's been around for a few years where you hunt these little monster things and you have them fight each other. I think it's called Pokemans, something like that. So in the Pokemans world, you got your little monster, right? And the way it works is that these monsters can sometimes turn into different, better monsters along the way. And the way that it happens is you got your little Pokemon over here, and then you give them like a special fancy magic rock, poof, and then they go through a Sailor Moon transformation, and then bam, they're like a whole new different Pokemon. And it's crazy. Now, take everything I just told you about that little science knowledge there and apply it to this movie. It doesn't work. It doesn't make any sense. This movie is at least claiming to be based on science. That is not how science works, okay? Not even close. The people, they basically just, they go into like a cocoon one night and then poof, they're like a superhuman now. They don't even look even close to the same thing. That is not how that works at all. The movie is trying to explain it away through evolution. Nope, that doesn't work that way. Nope, I'm not buying it. It would basically be like if you took a wild wolf, just a purebred wolf from the wild, and you gave it some special food for a month, and then at the end of the month, it took a nap, and then poof, Corgi. Oh, why? Okay, I have to admit, that was like so mind-bogglingly stupid that for a very brief moment, the Titan dipped from being bad back into being good. For just a brief moment, it was so bad that it was good. And then it went back to being bad almost immediately. There's just nothing worth watching in this movie. It's just a colossal waste of time. They didn't even try with this movie. They didn't even put even a smidge of effort into this. It's so lazy and so generic and so derivative. There's just nothing to it. I almost feel like I need to evolve a completely new way to say thumbs down for this, but thumbs down, not good. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate every single one of you. The Titan, not a good movie, not even a little bit. Wouldn't recommend this one to anybody. In fact, it was a very, very good friend of mine, one of my best friends, that actually recommended this movie. Well, not recommended, but he suggested this movie to me a few months ago, several months ago, just because he was curious about it. And so, there you go, buddy. I sat through it, I suffered through it. Don't waste your time, it's not worth it. Anyway, if you enjoyed this content, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below and share it with all your friends. I would really appreciate that. You can also head over to Twitter and over to Facebook and follow me on there. And as always, if you want to know your flicks, you know where to click. Happy hunting, everybody. I'll see you next time.